A sophisticated and dangerous and influential Sheffield drug gang were jailed for nearly 100 years after they committed an M to ensure that their Class A empire would remain unrivalled from other gangs. 19-year-old Jabari Fanty, 19-year-old Aaron Yankbank, and 20-year-old Ricardo Nkanyezi had dressed in dark clothing and wore face coverings, either a balaclava or a hood or a mask. Then they used a car on false plates and drove to an address in Grimesthorpe Road South on November 15, 2020. The Sheffield gang were equipped with at least 2 pistols. 2 triggermen had stood outside the house, aimed their pistols and then pressed the trig, firing into the living room. The TV smashed, the windows smashed, and casings went through the house. 20-year-old Ramey Salem, who was allegedly part of a rival Sheffield gang, was struck in the chest. Hot metal tore through the organs. Staggering up from his place in the living room, Ramey Salem staggered/ran into the hallway before making his way into the bathroom, a trail of red going wherever he went. Now either Jabari or Aaron or Ricardo or another man by the name of Jordan Foot had given chase, where they struck Ramey again. Neighbours had awoke suddenly to the popping noise in the early hours of the morning, roughly 1 a.m, followed by panic shouts and then footsteps running before the engine revved and the car drove away. Jabari, Aaron and Ricardo were part of one of the biggest gangs in Sheffield that had monopolised the sale of H and White. Their reach was influential and far-reaching, and it was felt in places like Rotherham, Chesterfield and Mansfield, and it was said by police that each gang member were hell-bent on protecting their turf. The fact that Ramey Salem was fatally struck with ammo was no accident. It was a pre-planned execute, meant to send a clear message to any rival gang that tried to sell in Sheffield. If you do that, you will be K'd, plain and simple, and in order to prove their message, they stained the flat with red in the most barbaric and callous way, leaving a family distraught and broken forever. As for Ramey Salem, police and paramedics had rushed to the address in Grimesthorpe Road South. Ramey was only 20 years old and he was given emergency care at the scene before being rushed to hospital. Sadly, his injuries and the damage to his organs were too severe and he was pronounced dead soon after. It was concluded that Ramey had been struck 5 times with ammo by 2 different pistols. In the aftermath of the cold-blooded M, police began to canvass the area, take statements and pick up casings, and search through over 100 hours worth of CCTV. A picture soon built up that the case was all about GUNs and gangs and dealing Class A and the immeasurable profits that ran into the thousands a day made from trade. Jabari Fanty was arrested, his phone was taken and police were able to link him to Aaron and Ricardo and Jordan and other members of the gang, where at least 2 had taken place. Jabari was sent to HRP Doncaster while he awaited for trial, but Jabari did not have an easy time because he was and blinded in one eye. From the casings that was recovered from the scene, police says that the pistol was a blank that had been converted to take actual ammo. Furthermore, the GUNs had been used in other incidences across Sheffield that all showed the signs that this was a gang turf. This led police to another GM by the name of 20-year-old Salma Shazad. Now she was arrested and quickly pled guilty to conspiracy to possess a GUN with intent and conspiracy to supply Class A between October 3rd and November 29th, 2020. Now, as for Jabari, Aaron and Ricardo, they were all arrested as part of the M investigation. At Sheffield Crown Court, Jabari Fanty of Broadhead Road in Sheffield, Aaron Yankbank of Abbeydale Road in Sheffield, and Ricardo Nkanyezi of Morgan Avenue in Sheffield was sentenced to life in the YO Institute for Ramey Salam's M. Now, Jabari and Aaron were told that they would have to serve a minimum term of 35 years for the M, also possession of a pistol and ammo, and discharging the GUN on 3 separate occasions, and also conspiracy to supply. As for Ricardo Nkanyezi, he was told that he would have to serve a minimum term of 32 years for the attempted M, and also for the pistol and the Class A conspiracy, and possession of another dangerous item, being a blade. Hopefully the sentences brought a tiny bit of closure to Ramey Salam's friends and family. However, this is just a real sign of what happens when you're involved in gang culture. Condolences. Stay safe. Safe.